All right, so fintech as a service,
Right.
it's a hot topic, and for good reason, right? I mean, imagine you're trying to launch like a really cutting edge financial product,
Yeah.
but instead of having to build every single thing from scratch,
Right.
you could just tap into this ready-made platform.
Exactly.
That's the allure of Face.
Yeah.
And we've got some research here from Verestro.
Right.
And they are a major player in the FAS space.
Right.
And it's almost like they're giving us a sneak peek into their playbook a little bit.
Sure.
But what's really got me interested is this claim of sheer speed
Yeah.
that they're promising.
Right.
So let's dive in and see if we can unpack what makes FAS so revolutionary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The article really hammers home this speed advantage.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
They claim that using Face is 200% faster than traditional in-house development.
Okay.
Now, that's a bold statement.
200% faster.
Yeah,
That's not just a little boost. That's like strapping a rocket to your product launch.
it is.
But what's the magic behind the speed?
Well,
Is it just about having pre-built components, or is there more to it than that?
So it is certainly about having those pre-built components.
Okay.
Things like your secure payment gateways,
Right.
your KYC/ML solutions, all of that's already baked in.
Right.
But it's also about the streamlined integration
Okay.
and deployment processes that these Faces providers offer.
Yeah.
They've done this countless times before.
Right.
So they've ironed out all the kinks
Yeah.
and optimized the entire workflow.
So it's like they've already navigated that regulatory maze
Exactly.
and built all the infrastructure so you don't have to.
Precisely.
Okay.
And to really illustrate the impact of that,
Okay.
the article uses the example of card issuing,
Right.
which, let's be honest, is notoriously complex.
Yeah.
And time
It's
consuming.
a pain. If you're going it alone,
Right.
this could take years.
Easily 18 months to 3 years, sometimes even longer.
Wow. So you're talking about a serious commitment,
Absolutely.
almost like launching a new business unit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with Theo's Verestro claims you could be up and running in as little as 3 months.
Wow.
That kind of speed can be the deciding factor in today's market.
Right.
Think about a startup
Yeah.
that's trying to beat a competitor to launch,
Sure.
or a company that wants to quickly capitalize on a new market trend.
Right. You
Yeah.
got to be quick.
Exactly.
Yeah. In the fast-moving world of finance,
Yeah,
being first to market can be everything.
absolutely.
And speaking of advantages, let's talk about the financial side of things.
Okay.
The article mentions that Phase can be significantly more cost-effective
Yeah.
than traditional development.
Yes. And they go even further than that.
Okay.
They actually claim that their platform is up to 50% less expensive
Really?
than competitors.
50%.
50%. Now, I know that might sound a little too good to be true,
It does sound a little too good to be true.
but they break down the reasoning quite clearly.
Okay. All right. I'm listening.
Okay.
Convince me. How can they offer those kinds of savings?
Well, for starters,
Yeah.
they highlight their focus on cost discipline.
Cost discipline.
Essentially, they run a tight ship.
Okay.
They are laser focused on efficiency,
Okay.
optimizing their internal processes,
Right.
and avoiding unnecessary expenditures.
So it's about maximizing value,
Exactly.
not just throwing money at the problem.
Precisely.
Okay, so it sounds like they're not wasting resources on fancy offices
Right.
or extravagant perks. But what about the actual technology itself?
Sure.
Surely building and maintaining a robust Face platform,
Yeah,
that's got to come with some hefty costs.
of course. But that's where their business model comes into play.
Okay.
They've opted for a strategic location
Okay.
in a region that's actually known for its competitive IT talent pool.
Okay.
This allows them to access highly skilled engineers and developers,
Yeah.
but at a lower cost
Yeah.
compared to, say, Silicon Valley
Sure.
or London.
Right. Much higher costs of living in those places.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're strategically positioning themselves to leverage those global talent pools.
That's smart.
It is very smart.
Yeah, but there's going to be more to it than that, right? They
Right.
wouldn't be able to offer these significant cost reductions solely based on location.
Well, Verestro has a very solid track record
Okay.
with over 65 successful FAS implementations under their belt.
Wow.
This extensive experience translates into streamlined processes,
Okay.
optimized development cycles,
Right.
and fewer costly mistakes.
Makes sense.
They've essentially perfected their approach.
So they've got the experience down.
They've got it down,
Yeah.
minimizing waste and maximizing efficiency.
And that efficiency translates into savings for their clients.
Exactly.
Okay, so they've got the experience, they've got these efficient processes, they've got the strategic location.
Yeah.
But how does their subscription model actually work in practice? Like, let's say I'm a company and I'm interested in using Verestro's Phase platform.
Sure.
What can I expect?
So their model is actually quite straightforward. Instead of a massive upfront investment, to build your own infrastructure,
Yeah.
you pay a relatively small setup fee.
Okay.
And then there's a monthly fee.
Right.
Based on your usage.
So it's kind of like a pay-as-you-go model.
Precisely.
Similar to like cloud computing services and things like that.
Exactly. You only pay for what you use.
Makes sense.
Which can be a game changer, especially for startups and smaller companies.
Yeah, limited budgets.
With limited budgets, exactly. And going back to their card issuing example, they actually provide some concrete numbers here.
Okay, let's hear it.
In-house development for something like that could easily run you into the millions.
Okay.
But with Verestro's Phase platform, they're talking about a setup fee of around €20,000.
Okay.
And then monthly fees ranging from $4,000 to $8,000.
Wow.
Depending on the type of card being issued.
That's a huge difference.
It is.
Millions versus, tens of thousands to get started. It really levels the playing field.
It does.
But beyond costs, another critical factor in fintech is stability.
Absolutely.
Right? You need a partner you can rely on.
Yeah.
Especially when you're dealing with sensitive financial data.
For sure.
And transactions and things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Verestro clearly understands that concern.
Okay.
They dedicate a significant portion of the article to highlighting their own financial stability.
So they're not shying away from that conversation at all.
No, they're not.
In fact, it sounds like they're quite proud of their track record.
And they have every right to be.
Okay.
They emphasize their profitability, the fact that they're not reliant on external loans, and their strong backing from Mastercard.
So they've got some good fundamentals there.
They really do.
Yeah.
These are all incredibly positive signals, especially in an industry that's seen its share of volatility recently.
For sure. Okay, so it's like they're saying, look, we're not just here for the short term.
Right.
We're building something sustainable.
Exactly.
But stability is only one piece of the puzzle.
Sure.
What about flexibility?
Okay.
Right? The fintech landscape is constantly changing.
Always.
Can a fast platform keep up with that pace of innovation?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
Verestro argues that FAS is inherently more flexible than traditional development.
Right.
And they make a compelling case.
Okay.
They highlight their direct contact with decision makers.
Okay, so you're not dealing with layers of bureaucracy to get things done.
Exactly. You're dealing with the people who can actually make decisions.
I like it.
And they emphasize their willingness to customize solutions to meet specific partner needs.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all.
It is not.
Approach. They're willing to work with you.
Precisely.
To find the right fit.
Exactly. They even talk about having a dedicated team.
Okay.
Focused on tailoring the platform to accommodate unique regulatory requirements and market-specific demands.
That's crucial.
It is.
Because, as we know, the regulatory landscape for fintech
is a beast.
Can be incredibly complex.
Yeah.
And it's constantly in flux.
Constantly changing.
Yeah. So Verestro stresses their commitment to compliance.
They do.
But they also emphasize the importance of finding that balance between the standardization and customization.
It's a tough balance,
but
an important one.
So it's like they're providing the engine and the chassis.
I like this analogy.
But you can customize the body and the features to build the car you need.
That's a great way to put it.
All right, so we've talked about speed.
Right.
We've talked about cost effectiveness.
Yep.
Stability, flexibility.
Sure.
But ultimately, it all boils down to one thing.
What's that? Absolutely. At the end of the day, it's all about the bottom line.
Right. And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Verestro doesn't just focus on the cost savings.
Right.
They actually make a compelling case for Face as a revenue-generating engine.
They do. They provide some really intriguing examples.
Okay.
For instance, they talk about how Face can significantly accelerate time to revenue.
Time to revenue! I like it.
Remember that card issuing example we discussed earlier?
Yeah, the 18 months to 3 years versus 3 months.
Exactly. They argue that by using their platform, companies could launch their card programs up to 4 times faster.
4 times faster?
4 times.
That's gotta be huge.
It's massive. Imagine the revenue potential of getting a new financial product or service to market that quickly
It's a game changer.
It is a game changer. And they also highlight specific features within their platform.
Okay.
Like their fees module.
Fees module.
Which allows companies to start generating revenue from day one.
So it's like having that built-in revenue stream from day one instead of waiting, you know, months or even years potentially to see a return on your investment.
And that speed and efficiency can make all the difference.
Yeah.
When you're trying to scale your business.
For sure.
And compete in a crowded market.
Absolutely. All right. So looking back at everything we've talked about.
Yeah.
With Verestro's FESOL platform, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From the incredible speed and cost advantages to this emphasis on stability, flexibility, revenue generation. It's clear that FESOS offers a compelling alternative to traditional fintech development.
It really does. And I think what's most impressive to me is how Verestro addresses the potential concerns head on.
Okay.
They're not just saying, trust us.
Right.
They're backing it up with concrete examples, data points, and a clear commitment to their partner's success.
Yeah, they're putting their money where their mouth is, so to speak.
Exactly.
And that level of transparency and accountability.
It's refreshing.
It's refreshing to see.
It really is. They're not just selling a platform.
Yeah.
They're presenting a strategic partnership.
I like that.
Built on shared success.
Yeah. And that's a powerful message for sure.
It is.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into the world of FEHAs, it really begs the question.
What's that?
If this technology can significantly reduce the barriers to entry for fintech innovation, what does that mean for the future of the industry?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
I think we're only scratching the surface of what FEHs can do.
Still early days.
It's very early days. Imagine a world where any company, regardless of size or technical expertise, could launch sophisticated financial products and services.
Interesting.
It could be a game changer for financial inclusion, for underserved communities, for entrepreneurs with groundbreaking ideas.
So it's democratizing access to these tools and technologies that were once reserved for the biggest players in the space.
Absolutely. And that kind of disruption can lead to incredible innovation and progress.
Yeah, it's definitely an exciting time to be in fintech.
Very exciting.
And I have a feeling this is just the beginning of FACE.
I think so, too.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll leave you with those thought-provoking questions to ponder.
There you go.
If you're interested in exploring these ideas further, I highly recommend checking out Verestro's full article.
It's a great read.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating.
Absolutely.
And as always, happy diving.
Happy diving.